So hi everyone, welcome to my presentation on Reddit Stocks Genie. So this project is a sentiment analysis tool designed to predict stock trends using data from Reddit. So the objective was to create a tool that analyzes Reddit posts and comments, extracts their sentiments, positive, negative and neutral, and predicts stock trends using a bit of AI models. So here I was used a bit of necessary Python modules such as raw, pandas and numpy, TextBlob, TensorFlow and pickle to save and load pre-processed data. So moving on to the data scraping part. So I used the Reddit API to scrape posts related to stock trends. So Reddit offers a very extensive request limit, which is 1000 requests per day, but also has a stricter short-term limit, which is around 100 requests per minute. So to work around this, I optimized my API calls. So Reddit allows me to fetch around 20 posts per request. So I kept my queries limited to 4 calls per search, which is 4 times 20, which is around 80 requests per minute. So this is well within the 100 requests per minute limit. So I made sure that I worked around this without exceeding the Reddit's usage policies. So I got the around 80 posts here. Searching from a bit of 4 subreddits types, which is stocks, investing, trading, and Tesla. And moving on to the data cleaning and pre-processing part. So I clean the data by removing URLs, special characters, unnecessary white spaces to ensure that the text is clean and readable, and that it improves my overall accuracy for sentiment analysis. So after cleaning the data, I got around 23 positive posts and 10 negative posts and 47 neutral posts, and a bit of visualization here used. And as you can see that I got more number of neutral posts here according to the distribution, and that the distribution actually follows the normal distribution, which is very evident and factual here. And moving on to the feature extraction and model building part. So here I've used the gated recurrent units neural network, so which is very efficient for processing sequential text data and capturing contextual relationship between words. And I've used the dot port layers as 0.3. So which is to avoid and reduce overfitting and improve the regularization for my model. And I use the embedding function to convert layers into vector representations, and softmax to classify the sentiments into 3 categories, which is positive, negative and neutral. I used around 15 epochs here with the loss function of sparse categorical cause entropy, which is commonly used for GRU neural nets. I used the Adam optimizer. So this parameters fetched me an accuracy of 83%. So as you can see, these were the sentiment predictions made by my model. So the red line represents the prediction values. And moving on to the evaluation part, my accuracy was around 83%, and the precision was around 82, which says that my model is able to distinguish well between the positive and neutral comments. And the F1 score tells me about how balanced it is between the precision recall value, which is around 90%, which is really good. And moving on to the future predictions, so I gave around 20 sample text here, which is very unbiased. I gave a very generic positive and negative and neutral sample text here, and I fed it to my model to predict. And I got a very accurate predictions of 78%, which predicts the stock trends here. The blue line is the actual and the red line is a predicted value, which is quite able to predict well. And I saved my model as a H5 file for later use. Finally, I built a chatbot using Gemini API. I gave prompts like, is it the right time to invest in stocks right now, based on the market text we fetched from Reddit, and also mentioned some of the best stocks to purchase. So it gave me a very profound and insightful answer about the negative and positive sentiment text data we received, and it also gave investors based on let's say Tesla or Apple, things like that, right? And finally, it gave me a conclusion that it is a very contradictory information, and it has a lot of emotional bias to it, because it is a Reddit post. And yes, this was my final output for Gemini chatbot, and how my project actually helps users to predict stock trends using a bit of AI. So that wraps up my explanation of my project. Now we'll see an actual implementation of how this is used in a web app. I'll see you there. Let's take a quick look at the interface of the Reddit Stocks Genie app. So at the top of the screen, we have the title, and below that, there's an input field where users can enter the subreddit. By default, it's set to stocks, but you can change it to any subreddit of your choice. Let's say I want to change it to investing. And the number of posts to fetch is controlled by a slider, allowing you to adjust the range from 1 to 50 posts. Let's say I want to fetch around 30 posts. When I click on the Start Now button, it triggers the app to fetch posts from the specified subreddit. The app uses the Python Reddit API wrapper library to collect real-time posts, specifically pulling the hot posts from that subreddit. Once the posts are fetched, they are displayed in a clean table for the user to review, and you'll also notice a pie chart representing the sentiment of the posts. I've used a model trained to analyze the sentiment of each post, and based on that, the app classifies them into positive, neutral, and negative sentiments. This is displayed on the pie chart right here. Additionally, I'm displaying the number of posts, positive, neutral, and negative comments, so users can quickly get an understanding of the overall sentiment in the subreddit. Another cool feature is the Ask Genie a Question section. Here, users can input any question they have, and based on the fetched Reddit post, the app will ask the Gemini model to generate an answer. This whole section is done using the Gemini API integration. So let's say I want to ask, what do you think is the future of investments based on the post? And it gives me a very detailed explanation, and it says that the future of investments appear very uncertain and anxiety inducing based on the given post. And this is the overall output of my project, and I would like to thank you for this opportunity, and it was a very great learning for me. I'm looking forward to work with the CapX team throughout this internship. Thank you.